Alright, in this video we're going to talk about why it's so important to know the names of the notes on the E, the low E, and the A strings, and why that can really change your life in the guitar world, and you won't regret it. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that really easily, so within a couple weeks you'll know those note names and you'll be playing your bar chords and your scale shapes in whatever key you want. Okay, so let's start with the way I teach all my students the low E string. We start by just learning a pattern. And it's really just a visual pattern. It works like this. It goes open, first, third, dot, dot, after, double dots. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Open, first, third just means open fret, first fret, third fret, right? So that just gives me my first three notes of that string. We know it's E open, and therefore it's F and G, okay? Dot dot is what? Dot is the 5th fret, and dot is the 7th fret. So we got open, first, third, dot, 5th fret, dot, 7th fret. So now I can count all the way up to my B, just like this. E, F, G, A, B. Cool. Now, last two. Now I go between the dots. That's C between the dots, and between the dots is D. So now, at the very least, I can count all the way up to D. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Now, that's still kind of slow if you need a D note to count all the way up like that. So eventually what we want to be able to do is we just want to know D. We want to recognize D by the way it looks. D looks like this. He's between the dots, but he's right close to the 12th fret, right? And we know that the 12th fret has the double dots because that's the octave. It's E again, right? And everything restarts. So let's just do that again. We got E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And you just memorize the way it looks. Eventually what you're going to do is you're just going to memorize every note and the way each individual note looks, and you'll be able to recognize, well, A looks like that. He has a dot, and he's at the 5th fret, right? B has a dot as well, and he's at the 7th fret. C is the in-between guy, and D is in-between guy near your octave. So you're going to do that one week. Then let's say the next week you do it like this. We can memorize G at the 3rd fret, A at the 5th fret, and B at the 7th fret, and you can memorize it like this. It's G-A-B, gab. Gab. G-A-B spells gab, right? So you're just going to memorize G-A-B, and what that's going to do is help you forevermore remember A, right there, bam, B, right there, G, right there. And that's what we want. Now it's okay to count up for a while. Let's say the first couple weeks you have to count your way up. P, F, G, A. There it is. Okay. Good. I got my A bar chord. Not bad, but it's still, we want it to be instantaneous, because in the middle of a song or an improvisation you want to just go bam, there's your A chord. You know where it is, right? So let's take a second and talk about why I insist that my students learn all the notes on the low E and the A. And that's because, as you probably already figured out, that's where we get all our bar chords from, right? So if I need an A bar chord, I know that 5th fret bottom string is A, and therefore that's A major, right? I know that 8th fret is C, so that's C major. 10th fret is D, D major. So you can count your way up, or you can just instantly know, bam, D major. So you need D major, you got D major, it's easy. And of course the same thing works for the A string. If I know instantly that this is C here, then I know that's a C major chord, right? This is an F major chord, this is a G major chord. So these two strings are really essential for being able to get your bar chords right away. And the other reason they're really essential is because that's where we're going to get most of our pentatonic scale shapes from. So when we're soloing, we want to know instantly, if we're in the key of A, that we can get our A minor pentatonic right here from the 5th fret. Right? Now again, we can count up E, F, G, A, there it is, right? That's not as cool as just knowing there's A, it's on the dot, 5th fret, right? Here's D. D is not on a dot, he's in between the dots close to E, the double dots, right? And the same thing works for the A string. The shapes might be different. So let's go back to this. This was A minor pentatonic. This was 5th fret bottom string, right? But let's do A somewhere else. Here's an A on the A string, right? This is A, 12th fret of your A string. Now the pentatonic shape is different. You can review that in another video. But there it is. I know how to play A minor pentatonic there because I know that's my A. I know how to play A minor pentatonic there because this is my A. Right? And here. Why? Because that's A. And here, this is A. And this is A as well. Of course, same A. So I can play my scale shapes up and down the fretboard. And I was really, for all those shapes, I really only used the notes on these 2 strings. So that's why it's so important. So now, you've got your low E. Let's say a couple weeks from now, you're feeling pretty confident about the notes on your low E. You know you've got E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, or think of it for now as open, first, third, dot, dot, after, after, double dots. Let's do the last step, the A string. And here's the good news, is that the pattern is almost exactly the same. The note names are different, but the pattern, the shape of the string is almost exactly the same except the way it starts. Instead of open first third, like the bottom string, it's open second third. Okay, so the rest of this pattern is the same. Start from the beginning of the A again, we go open, second, third, dot, dot, after, after, and double dots. That's my A again, right? Double dots is the octave. So let's do that again. That's open, second, third, dot, dot, after, after, and your octave. Right, and you should practice it backwards too while we're at it. Right? So now we can count up the A string, but we know it starts on a different note. It doesn't start on E, of course, it starts on A. But whatever, we can count it up. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A again. So now, if I need any kind of bar chord, I know exactly where it is. I know where my D minor bar chord is. I know where my E minor bar chord is, my F minor bar chord, my G minor bar chord, or whatever I need. And finally, you don't really need to memorize the sharps or flats that much. They'll come to you in time. Just focus on those, what we call the natural notes, the ones without sharps or flats. You will know that if this is E major, you will know that this is E flat. And you will know that if this is D for D major, that this is D sharp. That'll come automatically, right? Okay, so one more time with me. We're going to do the low E string. You got open, first, third, dot, dot, after, after, double dots, right? That's the notes E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, and your A string. Open, second, third, dot, dot, after, after, double dots. That's the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. You got it.